Say hi to James. Made me an entrepreneur. Teaching me day after day after day till it all was a blur. Now he on tour, he can drop in your city tonight. Neverland Zing coming in for the fight. Making that powerful statement, saying that you meant for greatness. Better be ready for absolute.
Good morning, Absolute Nation. Man, I got to tell you, today is an awesome day for one reason. It's because we get a chance to do some coaching, some one-on-one, some time where I can talk with you about what we can be and what we can do. I was sitting here, I was going over some notes, and I had different people. I was like, hey, you know how to bring this person on. Then I thought about something. Sometimes we can get so focused on who someone is, we forget for what we were born to be, what we do, and the value we add. When you look in the mirror, man, I know people tell you to do affirmations or start off your day that way, but that's not the best way to start your day. Because every time you give an affirmation, you have a reminder that pops up. You say, I'm the greatest. And all of a sudden, the self doubt comes up and says, but you run on this day. I'm a multimillionaire. Yet, you know, your bank account says $300. What do you do when your reality doesn't line up with an affirmation? Here's what you do. Instead of you putting out things that aren't true and having this thing battle internally and have an imposter syndrome, this is what you do. You start speaking the way God speaks over you. You start speaking the way your parents spoke over you. You start speaking the way others have talked about you. You say it this way. In spite of your failures, you are great. In spite of your setbacks, you'll do great things. In spite of the mistakes you've made, you are accomplished. In spite of the things you've done, you have overcome them. Every day that you've had a bad day, you've survived it. You have a history of winning. You are, you are, you are. You are is different than I am. You see, when you say I am is awful euphemism that people often use to come from scripture where I am God, I am. God said, I am that I am. And so when you say that I am, it's almost saying as if I am God. And so imposter syndrome will come whenever you compare yourself with being God. You ain't him, he ain't you. He made you. That's different. But if you can get to the point where you start to talk to yourself in affirmations that make sense, you are. You will be. You can be. You have done. Get historical until you can get hysterical about it. Begin to talk to yourself in those affirmations, those affirming things, because those are reality. And then begin to dream. One day I will. I'm planning on. I shall. I must. And then get past the here's my why. Why do you want to do this? Get past that. Get to my so that. I need to do this so that I can take care of my family, so that I can accomplish it, so that I can get back to a community, so that I can change a continent, so that I can change the world. So that is so much deeper, so much more defined than why. Let me say this to you. There isn't a day that goes by where I don't say I'm thankful for the privilege and the honor it is to be who I've become. The odds were stacked against me. There was no way I should have made it. If you look at your own history, look at your own life, there is no way that you should be able to accomplish all that you have based upon the mistakes you've made, based upon where you came from, and the odds being stacked against you. But if you built that type of resiliency in your life and you became somebody, you ought to give God thanks for that. You ought to thank yourself for committing yourself to yourself and thank those who put their hand behind your back when you wanted to quit. They push you forward, whether it's through encouragement. It could have came to a breakup, but they made you find out something that was deeper than what comes from a makeup counter. You don't dress the outside, you address what's inside. As a speaker, when we take the stage, one of the most important things that you have to do, you must do, is find a way to be able to tap and connect with your audience. Everything that I'm talking about, start off with the affirmations because it's the way you start your day. Now I'm going to step into the idea of how jumpstart somebody else's day. A speaker is something that it's a person that's called male or female. That I've been called to touch other people's lives. It's not done with a meme. It's not done with a quote. It's not done, like I said, on Facebook or like I said on Instagram or TikTok. It's not through the mediums. It's you're the medium. You're the channel that goes, everything filters through you. What you believe about yourself, what you believe about God in you, what you believe about what you will be and can do comes through when you talk to others. But it can't be about you. How do you step on stage and not be about you? It's you out there, right? Well, here's how you step on stage, authentically you. You realize that you came to serve. That if you're sitting there and you're full of nerves, you're thinking about you and your performance. I want you to think about who you came to serve. Who did you come to impact? Who did you come to inject with positivity and encouragement and enlightenment and inspiration? You see, the one thing about motivation is that it will die out. If I tell you, get up and you can ride a bike, kids don't learn to ride bikes at seminars. They learn it in the street. They learn it in the driveway. So do people. What you have to say must last beyond the driveway. It's got to be able to last to get into the street. It's got to make it into everyday life. So you can't make it about you. It's got to be about the internal strife. You shut that down and you go into service mode. And those that hear, man, when they hear you, they see you. You should be a conduit of a message and a method. We have a school that you can learn from, school.com/P. You can join and learn how to speak. You can join and learn how to create this thing. How do you go through modules on your own page? Just simply get in. It's gamified. You start to work. You start to develop. You start to create a better version of you. In fact, I want to share something with you. It just is amazing. All you've heard people say, fake it till you've made it. I want to tell you the opposite. You don't need to fake anything. If you begin to fake who you are, if you begin to fake what you've done, if you begin to fake it, you will forget about what you've told people. And when you actually make it, it won't, as you got this newfound enthusiasm, I finally made it. People are like, I thought you had always made it. You will lose credibility with people, but people don't mind watching you through your journey. From the days you start off all small to the days you go up to be a giant, walk them through that journey. Let them love you through the process of you becoming you. You becoming a beast, you becoming great, you becoming sorrowful, you becoming joyful. You let them watch that journey because they will love you for being authentically you, and you will never suffer imposter syndrome because of it. When I tell people about what is it like over the last year and a half of my life to go from working in a factory, clocking in, working and doing redundancy of things every day. I went through years, nearly a decade of just working on a job every day, physical labor. Then I moved over into leadership. And when I got into leadership, I still found myself going back to do the things that I've always done, working on the line beside the people because I saw myself as one of them. Never saw myself as being promoted or having a bigger role. I always saw myself as one of them. Today, I still see that. No matter what I've done, I still see myself as a beginner. I still see myself as just starting. I'm not satisfied, nor am I overly enthused or excited about the things I've accomplished. I've got a presidential lifetime award there. I've been given all kind of honors. I've got awards and things that for what I've done. I've written a best-selling book, international bestseller. I've achieved all that, and they say, "What's next?" Man, I just got started. There is no next. This is just starting. It's got to be the mindset of everyone who wants to do something beyond the moment. Forget the accolades, forget the titles, forget the wins, and just keep becoming legendary. Step into it, step up to the table, then dress the table, then put things on the table, then invite others to that table. That's success. When I begin to say, hey, have a seat, Dylan Berry, introducing him, bringing him to the channel. When I say, sit down, Blake Hahn, when I invite people and say, Jessica, come be a part of this, I'm looking for those who have that skill set and enough of a runway that they can take off and they can bring people back and elevate them. Absolute motivation is about motivation that moves you. When the team gets together, David and Zane going through, what do we do? How do we plan? We're looking at who takes and who's invested. Here's let me get on the thing about investment for as a speaker. People say, I don't want to play that game of pay to play. So let me ask you, if you were to go out and speak somewhere, do you fly there? Do you pay for the flight? When you get to a hotel, do you arrive and say, I'm not willing to invest or pay to be here? Do you get a room that way? Can you ask for an upgrade? Can you just walk in? Somewhere you must. You sit down at a restaurant and you say, listen, I would like the best meal, but I don't want to invest. I don't want to pay. I don't want to pay to play. Whatever you give me, just give me because you want to give it to me because I earned it because I'm a human. If that was that way, there would be no homelessness or hunger in the world. You must invest in you. Because if you don't invest in you, why should anyone else? You must invest in the education. You must invest in the coaching. You must invest so that you can become better than what you are. If it was good enough, or if you're satisfied, the fact that you get to speak to some small places and it sounds encouraging to you that I charge 5,000, I charge 15. There was a time where I thought that was impressive or that was great. But no, not anymore. See, because there's levels to it. There comes a point where you start to realize that, wait a minute, I just got 80,000 for that day. Then you get 300,000. You're like, how did you get there? It was because I invested and I bet on me. I bet on me the day I left my job, went into this. I bet on me when I invested and went and got a coach and a mentor. I bet on me when I began to work with people and learn from them. I bet on me when I traveled and heard other people speak. I bet on me when I stood back and I took free opportunities to speak from stage. And when I did so, I was next to big names. And when I came off stage, because I didn't go up there nervous, I came out there for service. I came to give something. And when I leave the stage, everything in me has already been dumped out there. I mean, everything that I prepared for, everything that I thought of. In fact, I rarely ever even have a thought when I walk out there. They're like, James, what are you going to speak on? Whatever God gives me for this audience in this given moment. They say, how do you have that type of material to go from? How do you keep a concurrent thought? How do people follow that journey? Here's how. I've been through enough hell that I remember the smell of smoke, even when I'm in great air or rare air. I can draw from the pains and talk to people. I have enough pleasures I can draw from that. There's enough funny things that happen I can pull from and share with people. You see, that's what's in the pool. That's what's in that depth. That's what's in my reservoir. And out of that reservoir, I can pull out of it and say, I got this. And I can take that to the ocean and throw it out there. And I'm going to realize I'm going to impact, I'm going to touch a ton of lives. I'm going to touch a ton of people with what I have because I have a plethora to pull from that they don't understand that all of that stuff over the years of my life has been stacking up, and I can pull that off the shelf and bless and educate or encourage somebody with it. And so it makes sense why you had to go through problems, why you had to go through pain, why you had to endure some things. It's why, so that you can help someone. Why? And so that came back. See, right now I'm sitting there and I'm talking and I'm thinking of it. For everyone who says, I don't want to invest, then what are you saying you want to do? How do you get a return on investment if there's no investment? You want to become a household name. You want to become seven-figure speaker, eight-figure speaker, whatever it is. I know it's possible because look at my own life. Look at the growth. Look at the things that I've gone through. In less than 2 years, there are millions of people that get a chance to hear what I have to say because it's stored up and been on mute so long. I refuse not to be on. But I also invest in me. I invest so I can be better. I invest so I can be best. I invest so I can continue. And then I coach and teach others so that they can do the same. There is absolutely no one I'm imitating, no one that I follow, be like. I get to be me, and so do you. If you're not working on being the best you, then there's a problem. A good coach will allow you to be you and pull out what's left in and make sure that you get a chance to see what you can be if you put in the work. It's not about getting us and I'm such and such. It's about allowing what's inside, quiet part to be said. It's about having the volume, the text, the technical skill to be able to go up, down, back, forth, whatever is needed so that you can impact people authentically. It's knowing when to pause, when to speed up and tell the story, or when to laugh, or when not to. But it's learning where to draw from out of your backfield so that you can allow it to go further and get yarded. This thing is not about a game of inches. I don't have time to move forward inch at a time. Life is too short that way. I'm trying to take over this game in a whole different way. Year from now, there will be a movie about a life story. And in that life story, you're going to see so many hurts and so many funny parts and so many different things. I mean, there's a documentary coming out on October 29th, and I'm in thinking about these things. I went from the line to having shows, to having options, opportunities, because I stepped into my calling. Invest in me. In fact, there would be no movie if you don't invest. When they start talking about movies, we sit down with Angel Studios and Sony. Angel Studios gave me a letter of intent and said, we want to put your movie in 2,500 theaters. They said, how much are we looking for? And you can get all these budgets, you can get all these investors, you can look at millions to go in to make your movie. But they invest in. And when people invest in, then they get a return on investment because of what it does once it gets there. You see, every area of life, you have to invest. If someone's going to see your movie, if someone's going to see your life, somebody's got to invite you. Invite you into a place where you can be compensated for what you've done. But if people are going to come hear you speak and pay you, they are asked to invest. Why wouldn't you? Get yourself in the game. We have a wonderful thing that's taking place. You know, October the 12th, I'm coming to Atlanta, Georgia. Goodness, man. What we're going to do when we hit Atlanta, Georgia, the impact that we'll make, some of the speakers that you will see and people that you will meet are going to be impactful, informative, and awesome. After October the 12th, I'll be in Lehigh, Utah, on October the 22nd. There I'll be with the First Lady of Sierra Leone. We'll be speaking on tackling some of the most challenging things, sexual traffic of children. You see, as a speaker, man, you can't just be talking about hype. You got to talk about real things and real solutions. So I will go there, speak before community leaders here in America, civil leaders, challenge them to do something to save our kids. November 23rd, I will be in Loretto, Tennessee at the Keystone Resort. You don't want to miss that. Larry Namer, founder of entertainment television, ETV, where you saw the Kardashians and all those things come from. The guy who founded that. Sort of a $3 billion is coming. And what if you could learn from him if you wanted to be in film, if you want to be in TV? What if you could talk to him about getting shows together? What if you could draw from his knowledge and experience? If you can. You just got to go online and go ahead and buy your ticket now. Those seats are going fast. And there's also, you saw Quentin Aaron. He was the star of uh, a Blindside the movie with Sandra Bullock. He's coming. Many of you didn't even know that his skill set included singing, but you're going to hear him sing there, interact with you. He's got other movies that are coming out, just finished filming, and a horror movie. And he'll be here with me today, and I'm going to film some things with him and work with him. And then we're going to go out, and you're going to hear him there. You got to meet these people because they are wonderful people with a great skill set going back into you. And I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you about my guy, my brother, Neil McDonough. Neil's coming. Neil is that beast of a guy, wonderful man. He is coming and pour into you. You see him on Tulsa King season 2. You see him, Band of Brothers. You've seen him everywhere. But now you get a chance to build a relationship with him, network with him, draw from him so that you can pour it into your own life. Oh, that isn't it. Darren Dunn, the CEO of Zardico, is coming. Now, why is that important? In 4 years, the man took $0 and turned a business into $120 million. Sold it. Now here he is coming to you, sharing the experiences of how, what you face in mental health in doing anything. You see, you have no idea the stresses that come with being the top guy. You see, heavy is the head that carries the crown, but sometimes the weight of that feel like it's holding you down. He's about to pour into you guys. He's going to share his heart. We're going to be focused on mental health and wellness. We're going to talk about physical wealth. One of our sponsors for the event is Cypress Adapt. For all of you who are amputees like me, this is the event you want to come to. They're going to roll out their technology, something that changes the game for every amputee, for veterans. We're going to have folks that, man, if I told you the line of people, we have people flying in from Australia. We have folks who are coming in from all over the country. Some of the leaders, some of the speakers they have are just going to blow you away. Like, man, I can't believe this person's here. That person's here. I just gave you some of the highlights of some of this team that is coming. But this is going to be awesome. All you got to do, the tickets, this is as low as it will ever be. You can get a ticket for $200, man. That's it. All you got to do is go ahead. It's $2,000 to attend a mastermind. To be able to come to this for $200 at a 5-star resort. We made this about income of what you receive from the relationship building, from the education aspect. You wanted to be a director? Listen, we have people who are the top documentary makers who are with Netflix coming. They're going to be there talking, speaking, connecting. You got an opportunity to do some things. Man, I'm working with networks and bringing them there. So those of you who want to be actors, directors, said, I just needed a chance. All you got to do invest in you is buy you a ticket and show up. There are some of you who want to be speakers. Man, if you can't show up, you don't want to do it. Because there is no one that can give a platform like Absolute Motivation can. No one that can get you world seen. No one that can get you visible. No one that can get you impactful. No one that can get you on a platform, give you stages like what we do and what we can. This thing is going to be a game changer. Man, we don't have to manipulate anything. We already got it. Other people are struggling, trying to get money together. I'm coming to your city. I'm paying for this, to buy that, to get this, to get your attention. No, I'm already coming to you with a 5-star resort. Everything's taken care of. All you got to do is get your ticket and show up. That's when you get to show out and become great. Show out, show the people what was on the inside from the outside. Show out that way, not show off. That's different. This is going to be amazing. For those who are speakers who are coming, we're going to be recording Icon Studios. Industries will be coming out of studio and setting up studio there from stage capture. All of our speakers will then have sizzle reel you need. You have all those things. And if you don't get there and get your stuff developed, it's one full day of impact. Don't miss this. Whatever you do, don't miss this. Not that day. Came on this morning. All I could think of, it's time for us to impact. It's time for you to grow. It's time for you to go that next level. I'm giving you dates. November 23rd. That's what you heard. That's the one you got to be at. We had the owner of the resort there last week. He was on it. He was talking about why, that 88-acre location. Look it up. You'll see it's phenomenal. Rolls Royce, red carpet, all that stuff. It'll be there. The only question is, where will you be? I'm going to wrap it up today with this. Thank you for tuning in constantly. Thank you for growing with us. For less than 2 months, we've been doing lives. Look at what we're doing. Number of views, the number of impressions, the number of people tune in, interact. That has grown so much. But I'm going to elevate it. What you see today will not be what you see before. From the intro of the show to the people that we'll bring on, to the topics we'll talk about, to the relationships we bring in, for the products we bring to you. All this is about the upgrade and change. If you want to be on the show, if you want to be interviewed and connect with me, all you have to do is reach out to us. You can find me on Instagram at Superman is for real. You can write us on Absolute Motivation Official. I'll see it. I'll respond. You want in the game, you got to get a hold of the coach. I won't chase you. You're the right one. You'll find me. Till next time, God bless.
Say hi to James. Made me an entrepreneur. Teaching me day after day after day till it all was a blur. Now he on tour, he can drop in your city tonight. Never the Zen coming in for the fight. Making that powerful statement.